Hi everybody, and welcome to Wendy's Witness. Did you know that everywhere you go, you are never alone? You heard the saying, there's safety in numbers? Well, you plus God is the majority. When it's time to go, because the Lord said so, don't hesitate or delay, because God Himself will make a way. For Mary Magdalene, Jesus' presence was everything. As she looked for Him at the empty tomb, we can only imagine her dismay. But to hear Him speak her name set all her fears at bay. Well, keep watching today. It's not everywhere else you should try to look, because distractions will pull us away. Steer clear from detours and stick near to Jesus, because walking by faith leads to having no fear. What are you afraid of? What is making you live less than God's best for you? Fear can be paralyzing, keeping us from moving forward into the good plans God has for us. I can testify to the power of fear. I am afraid of heights. Well, technically afraid from falling from heights. But anyway, a long time ago, we were in Colorado and we were trying to cross the Royal Gorge Bridge. Which if you've never been there or if you've never seen this bridge, it's real high up and it's got these slats that you can see through to the bottom. And so as I was attempting to cross this bridge, something just in my mind, I was telling my leg to pick up my foot, but it was not listening, so I could not move. I was literally stuck to that spot on the bridge. So we were with my mom and my stepdad, and he came up and he just put his arm around me, and he was just like, right here talking about, you can do it, it's okay, I'll walk with you, we'll make it to the other side, you'll be fine, don't look down. So eventually we did make it to the other side. I'm not still in Colorado on a bridge, but I know what it's like to be so scared that you can't even move. When Israel, God's chosen people, prepared to engage in battle, He told them in Deuteronomy 20:3-4, do not be cowardly, do not be afraid, alarmed or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies, to give you victory. Even though the enemies and battles we face may seem huge, our God is bigger and better. If God calls you to step out in faith, you can keep fear at bay by trusting God Almighty is with you. He has His arm around you, leading you to the other side. And Jesus is waiting, already there, because He's won the victory. How do we make the transition from worrier to warrior? When we worry, we're telling God, I'm going to figure this thing out all on my own, and I'll let you know what I come up with. We go on to then lose sleep, our peace, and most importantly, our place of victory is forfeited because we don't stand and fight, because we're too weary from worry. We can feel defeated by unfortunate circumstances and want to give up, overtaken by exhaustion and loss of hope. Look at Hagar. She was sent away with her boy, wandered in the wilderness, reached a point where she could go no further, and wept over the fate of her child's future. Genesis 21:17 says, God heard the boy crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, What's wrong, Hagar? Don't be afraid, for God has heard the boy crying from the place where he is. We too can cry out to God. He hears us. This is why no matter what's wrong, no worries, we don't have to be afraid. Psalm 34:4 says, I sought the Lord, and He answered me and rescued me from all my fears. God is for us. When everything around us seems to say otherwise, remember Job. In Job 3:25, he says, For the thing which I greatly feared is come upon me, and that which I was afraid of is come unto me. How many of us could say the same? Well, truth be told, most times the thing we fear never happens. So, we waste our time and energy. Time and energy that could have been used for something positive and productive. But once it's gone, we can never get it back. Ever notice how worrying or overthinking is exhausting? It's because we're not made for that. We were made to depend on God, to know Him who knows the future, and let Him lead us, protect us, and provide for us. When we love God and fear Him and nothing else, then we get it right. Deuteronomy 25:18 says, They met you along the way and attacked all your stragglers from behind when you were tired and weary. They did not fear God. Remember, not everyone you meet is in a partnership with the Lord. They may be used from the enemy to come against you. However, what God can do for you, despite and sometimes because of your enemies, will testify to God's grace and goodness. Don't dwell on the struggle. Dwell on the strength of the one who is for you. He is an exceedingly abundantly more than we can ask or think, working all things out for your good, overcoming, ocean splitting, peace giving, giant slaying, mountain moving, always present help in time of need. Well, God bless you, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next week, and remember, we are all witnesses.